Ask 10 people whether a financial advisor is worth it, and you might get 10 different answers. But your question still remains: will hiring an advisor help you come out on top in the long run? Or will the cost of working with them outweigh any potential gains they might be able to earn for you? Well, you no longer have to guess, because a study conducted by SmartAsset takes feelings and opinions out of the equation and instead uses a quantifiable model to calculate the true financial value of an advisor. Their results were surprising, so buckle up and we'll go through all the findings their study revealed. Ultimately, the value of an advisor can be distilled down to this: can they generate additional net worth for their client that the client wouldn't have been able to generate on their own? Now, this sounds great in theory, but how do we take this observation and turn it into something that's measurable? Well, SmartAsset took data from other financial studies conducted over the years and built some complex mathematical formulas to answer this question. Thankfully for us, they also created this simpler graphic to illustrate their methodology. And I know even this still looks pretty complicated, but let's walk through it together so we understand the concepts going on behind the scenes. There's two main variables SmartAsset uses to determine advisor value: the stages of investing, which are the accumulation phase and retirement, and whether the individual has employed an advisor or not. Now, one of the biggest hesitations most people have when looking at hiring an advisor is the cost. You want to know that even with the fees the advisor is charging, you're still going to net more overall than you would without hiring them in the first place. This study takes that into consideration, and they actually build out an equation that calculates lifetime advisor fees for their model. This way we can compare numbers based on the actual amount going to the client after accounting for any fees their advisor would be charging them. Okay, let's go back to that original graphic. To solve for that lifetime value of a financial advisor metric, SmartAsset calculated the estimated rates of return for each quadrant. This way, we can compare how a client's portfolio could perform during both investing stages with or without an advisor. And here were their results. As you can see, we're coming out much further ahead when an advisor is in our corner. Instead of earning an estimated 4.93% on our own during the accumulation phase, our rate of return is 7.32% with an advisor. In retirement, our advisor could help us more than double our rate of return. This model shows that we're ending up way ahead even after accounting for the cost of the advisory relationship. So how would these numbers look in an actual client portfolio? Well, SmartAsset took these results and applied them to a variety of hypothetical situations. In this graphic, they first looked at a 35-year-old with an annual income of $125,000 and a net worth of $250,000. If this individual started working with an advisor now, how would that impact their future net worth? If they continue without an advisor, their lifetime net worth is projected to grow to about $991,000. But if they decide to work with one, their projected net worth grows to over $2.2 million. And again, this value is after accounting for advisor fees. That's a lifetime value add of more than 125%. But this is only one scenario. How would a 45-year-old with $175,000 in annual income and a net worth of $750,000 fare? For them, their net worth increases from about $1.5 million to almost $3 million. They're nearly doubling their lifetime net worth if they decide to start working with an advisor at 45. For a 55-year-old with $220,000 in annual income and a net worth of $1.5 million, an advisor could help increase their net worth by almost $1.3 million. And finally, for a 65-year-old earning $80,000 annually with a net worth of $2 million, hiring an advisor could mean an extra $633,000 during those valuable retirement years. These results revealed that a client-advisor relationship could yield some life-changing results. But you might be looking at this chart and wondering why the lifetime value add of the advisor drops as the client gets older. Well, the reasoning follows the same principle as the adage: time in the market beats timing the market. The more time a client has to build wealth, the more the advisor can do for them. This concept is further reflected in this graphic. The sooner the client-planner relationship begins, the greater increase in estimated net worth. For a 25-year-old with $150,000 in annual income and a net worth of $500,000, their lifetime net worth is projected to be 212% greater than if they had never began working with an advisor. The 70-year-old may not see as impressive of a result as a 25-year-old, but remember this, even after accounting for the total cost of that advisor, they're still netting nearly 20% more over their lifetime just by starting the client-planner relationship. For the next section, SmartAsset applied its model to a 45-year-old client at varying net worths. We already saw that a 45-year-old with $250,000 could take their lifetime net worth from about $1 million to more than $2 million. But what about a 45-year-old starting with $1 million? What about $5 million? Well, this chart paints an interesting picture. The more money the 45-year-old has when they begin working with an advisor, the more they stand to gain as a result of that relationship. Just look at the two values for the 45-year-old with $10 million. If they decide to truck on a loan, they could be leaving more than $30 million on the table throughout the rest of their life. So, what does this study ultimately reveal to us? Well, choosing to work with an advisor can have massive financial payoffs for you throughout your life. Whether you're in your 40s with $300,000 in assets or in your 60s with $5 million, an advisor can help you build your financial future in ways that are beyond what you could do alone. Now, as clear-cut as this study is with its results, they're not guaranteed. The human element of a client-planner relationship is a valuable piece to the puzzle that cannot be overlooked. There's two types of financial intelligence an advisor brings to the table: behavioral finance and technical finance. The technical side is often easier to visualize. An advisor has extensive knowledge in financial legislation, market dynamics, risk management, and has a variety of technological tools available at their disposal. The behavioral side is often overlooked, but it's just as important. A good advisor recognizes how a client's individual perceptions can negatively impact their financial decisions. For example, a client's perception of risk may be skewed by a bad experience in the market decades ago. Another client may continue to hold on to company stocks despite their underperformance because he inherited them from his grandparents. An advisor acts as a barrier between these biases and the client's assets, ensuring financial decisions are truly made in the client's best interest. If you're not yet working with an advisor, taking that first leap, whether it's a phone call, email, or contact form, is the most important piece of that process. Our team here at the Noble Group is always available to help you determine your best path forward, even if it's not with us. If you want to schedule a quick one-on-one meeting with me, scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.